Good afternoon and welcome to Paul Drockton Radio Show. This is your host, Paul Drockton, and I am the author of Dead Man Musings, the website that is not only growing in popularity, but literally one of the top sites in the world right now. Today, we're waiting for our guest to call in, the mother of Hollie Greig in Scotland. This is probably the most atrocious, egregious case of satanic ritual abuse and child molestation that you're ever going to be exposed to. And literally, it's an outrage that the media in England, Great Britain, is spiking the story and not permitting it to go on the into the news. And if you'd like to call in, the number is 347-838-8452, 347-838-8452. First of all, Hollie was a little girl with Down syndrome. And for those of you that don't know what Down syndrome is, it's an affliction, a genetic affliction, but there's physical characteristics that are there that are used to classify the genetic disorder. And the bottom line is this, my friends, is that I believe that those that are mentally retarded are probably some of the greatest intelligences we have on this earth. And that sounds like a contradiction, but... Hello, this is Paul. You're on the air. Hi, Ann Greig. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
And I want you to introduce yourself and tell our audience, just give us kind of like a brief summary of what's going on over there, okay?
Well, 10 years ago I found out that my daughter had been sexually abused by her father, and over a period of months, from the May till the August, she told me about other people that had abused her as well. And I went to the Grampian police in the May, and my husband was interviewed, but nothing was done about it. We went back in the August with the other names that Hollie had told me, and one of the police officers said that I was behaving very strangely, and went to my GP, and 10 days later I was sectioned for repeating what my daughter had told me. I was kept there for 3 days. At the sectioning, they turned up at my front door. I was actually going down to the bin room at the time, past all these people, police, mental welfare guys, social workers. I went to the bin room, came back, and one of the doctors came over and said, that they were here to section me. And I said, there's no way, and, started saying this is, all to do with my husband, because he was the one that, that was abusing my daughter. I was bodily lifted. I was thrown onto the apartment floor. My trousers and my pants were taken down. I was injected, knocked out, and taken to Cornhill Hospital. They went in, took my daughter, put her into care. She was 20 years old at that point, and during that time they took her to see her father, who was the man that she had accused of being the first perpetrator. I was kept there for 3 days. I got lawyers in. I phoned a helpline, and they told me that if I didn't agree to what they said, that I could be sectioned under Section 28, and then kept again under Section 18, which was a 6-month detention.
Let me interject here real quick, just so I'm gonna summarize for our listeners real quick what you just told me, okay? Or what you just told me. So it sounds like basically, how old was Hollie when this abuse started?
6 years old.
So this is just atrocious. It's egregious, and it's an outrage beyond description. I can't even express my anger right now towards this situation and towards the perpetrators. So we're talking about abuse that started when she was 6 years old. And then when did you become aware of this?
I became aware of it. I fled my home in the May of 2000 because my husband was physically abusing myself. And I fled and went into a hostel in Aberdeen. And after 2 weeks in the hostel, I was trying to reassure Hollie that everything would be all right, that we would get a little house by ourselves, and that there would be no more fighting. And, you know, she said, we've got to get the dogs. She had 2 little Bichon Frises. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, we'll get your dogs. She said, but he'll kill them. And I said, no, he won't. It's Mummy he doesn't like, you know. No, he'll kill me too, you know.
And your dog died last night, didn't he?
Yes.
You lost your animal. I have a dog. Right. And do you think this is connected to everything else that's going on?
Well, the dogs that Hollie had were her confidants. You know, all the years that she was being abused, you know, she confided in the dogs. So they were very close to her heart, and she was very, very upset today, very upset.
Well, my audience understands what's going on here. And for your information, and I've just researched an article that was written by an avowed Satanist, and they're targeting children like Hollie with Down syndrome. These people are so evil and so vile that they're taking the most innocent members of our society. And I'm sure, and you would agree with me that when we're talking about an individual that's Hollie's slightly retarded, mentally retarded.
Well, she can read and write. You know, so though she's Down syndrome, she's not. You know, there's different degrees in Down syndrome. So she would be the higher end of Down syndrome. You know, you know, she can, you know, dress herself. You know, she can do everything.
Of course.
She's a wee bit slower. You know.
These are the purest members of our society, is what I'm trying to convey here.
Yeah.
These are.
Yeah.
Would you agree with me on that? Absolutely.
Yes,
so we're talking pure innocence that's being violated by the most criminal members of our society.
That's correct.
So what happened is that you became aware of this, you said, in 2000?
In 2000, yes. And I've been fighting it ever since, you know. And I accessed her... Sorry?
I'm sorry. And you also explained to us that you took this to the police, to the... you took it to your political representative, and instead of prosecuting your husband, they came after you. They basically accused you of being mentally ill. They institutionalized you.
That's right. They maligned my character.
And so they've done everything they kind of destroy you.
That is correct. Yeah.
Okay. Well, on my show, and
also my daughter. You know.
Mm-hmm.
They destroyed Hollie as well.
They took her back with her father.
Yes, they put her back with her. That's correct. Yes.
So we're talking about an abuser that is once again has access to the victim. That's just again egregious. And I know, is it your attorney that's online with us as well?
Yes.
You know, feel free to chime in here.